We're honoring the memory of Her late Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, and I'm joined today here with local resident Dr. Jill Lakins. It's great to be talking with you today.
Thank you.
So the reason that we're talking is when Her Majesty passed away, we put out a call to talk with some local residents who may have a connection with her. And we heard your story that you were there at 16 years of age to witness her coronation.
I was, yes, I was very lucky.
So can you kind of tell us a little bit about how that came to be and maybe your memories of that day?
Well, as I say, my father had bought the only television in town, and so, or village, and so everybody was coming to view the coronation on the television. That was a big thing, you know, in those days. And I thought, but I'd be lost in amongst, because everybody's coming. So I decided to go up to London on my own and stay the night and see the actual coronation itself, which I did. I caught the train, got up there, had an aunt who lived in Baker's Street, and she gave me a blanket and a cushion, and she took me round to Oxford Street, sat me on the pavement, and I was there for the night. I had a blast. It was wonderful.
And there must have been a lot of people there.
There was. The pavements were covered, and it rained, of course, being Britain, so it was a bit wet, but people lent me an umbrella, and somebody else gave me some sandwiches, and then, as I was saying, the middle of the night, the newspapers came out, and down the street they're announcing that Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing have climbed Everest. And of course nobody had climbed Everest before, so they announced it then, which was very exciting. And then the next day the Queen comes through in the gold coach, which was gold. And then the thing I liked the best was the Queen of Tonga, who's a great big lady from Tonga, and she was in an open carriage, and waving like crazy.
To everyone here.
To everyone. It was just delightful. And as I say, we went to see the Queen, of course, coming out on the balcony, which was great. And my friend who joined me had brought with her her little nephew, who was 9, who had been told, well, you can take him to see it, but don't lose him.
Yeah, you got to keep track of him.
Keep track of him.
Yeah.
So what did we do? We lost him. in all those crowds. I don't know how many times we walked around Victoria, you know, trying to find him. We did, thank goodness. We did, we found him in the end, but that was a scary moment. We were going to be killed when we got back if we didn't find him again.
And it seems that the crowds there, it was a very kind of, people were getting along very well during that day.
Very well, very well. The pavements were covered with people.
All there for the same reason,
All there for the same reason, and so glad to have their Queen, which they embraced her right from the very start. And she was incredible.
You've been able to witness her entire reign.
Absolutely.
For me, she's been Queen my entire life. For you, you've been able to see her ascend to the throne and then ultimately go through to her Platinum Jubilee. Can you kind of share a little bit of your thoughts on her 70 years on the throne?
I think she is, as I was listening recently, a great woman. I really do. I think she's partly why we are still respected at the moment, anyway. But she was always there. She was always dependable, more than anything else, I think. And whenever she spoke well. She made you feel safer, I think, when I look back.
Yeah.
And I see this. Of course, she was a little girl when I was growing up too. She lived near, she came down to Sussex quite a bit because we had a hospice for children.
I see.
The Queen Mum was the patron, and she would always bring the girls with her, went to fetes and things like that she did. So I saw her from when I was little right the way through, and she's always been there.
She's been that constant.
That constant that you could rely on.
And then just finally, do you have maybe a favorite memory of her reign or something that'll always stick out to you when you think of Queen Elizabeth II?
You know, I think probably her dignity more than anything else is what I remember. And when you travel later on in life, everywhere we go, everybody respected the Queen.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much for talking with us
You're
today. It was
welcome.
great to hear your stories and being able to reflect on the Queen kind of through you, and it's great to talk with someone locally here in Lloydminster that was also there and witnessed that history. Thanks for your time today.